How's it going, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to TFNG-Tech today. We're doing a video on the tools you need to hardline tube your PC. This is part 2. So let's just get started real quick. One thing is, I'll say it first, is as previous video I said, use pipe cutter, and sadly I was hoping it would work, but it didn't. A couple of tubes right here, I tried it on one and it does cut through, but right when it gets to at the end, it cracks because acrylic is very brittle compared to PETG. So for the pipe cutter, that's PETG only. Please don't do it. Don't waste your time or money and everything like that. That is why I've ordered a couple of parts from Alphacool that actually have a cutting holder, pretty much. That it's not the exact size of what I have, but it has a 16mm and 13, so I can hold it as a little cut line, and I can cut to length what I need and such. And I'll be using a hacksaw, but I ordered a Alphacool's acrylic cutter. Also, it's the same concept. You can just get a hacksaw like that, but I just wanted to have something dedicated for this, since I use that for projects around the house. But some other tools that you need are going to be not saying to buy iFixit. Nobody's sponsoring this videos or anything like that, but I like my iFixit kits. I bought it particularly because I've heard great things about them. Quality item. Has every screw bit, whatever you want to call it, I need to work on the GPUs from the previous videos. But I will be using that to put together my computer, the fans, radiators and such. But all you need is a set amount of screwdrivers. You can go to Harbor Freight, you can go to Home Depot, anything you want. It's your choice, so no big deal there. You're also going to need the silicone tube to go into your acrylic tubing or hardline tubing, whichever one you go with, no matter what, because it helps when you're heating up and you bend, 90 degrees, 45 degrees, etc. You have a less tendency with that, or pretty much a guarantee that you're not going to, as long as you do it slowly, not put a kink in the bend. Okay, it'll be a nice even flow, no resistance there and such like that. And for the soft tubing, I'll be using this to show you all how to clean your radiators, the new ones and such that you like I just bought. I'm going to go through that using the Mayhem kit, and I had to buy this separately. It usually comes with a Mayhem kit, but they let you know that due to COVID, their kits are not coming with goggles for some reason. Don't ask me why, but I got this for $4, this set of goggles from Home Depot. But the Mayhem kit, part 1, is dedicated to do the radiators, and I'll be doing those separately outside in a video to show you, outside my case and everything. But the soft tube is also to hook up to the ball valve to drain my system for future and for leak testing and such, because I have this EK air leak tester that you pump up to. There's a green marker right here and such, but this was $40. My buddy had one from a soft tube kit he did, so he let me borrow it, thankfully. But this is $40 from EK's site. Amazon sells it, but it's like $65. I think last time I saw, at the time, that was last week. But you can go that route. But I'm also going to be using distilled water. Only use distilled water because it's the purest water you can use, has least amount of contaminants, such like that. So I'll be using this as also a leak tester for my setup, just to be overcautious and such like that, because compared to soft tubing, hardline tubing has, I guess you'd say, more susceptible to leaks from what I've read. And talk to other people and such like that, because you're going through 2 gaskets and the compression fittings and such like that, and you might cut it by accident. But the leak test with the air is a really good way of doing it. So I'll be doing the air leak test first, then using the distilled water here for that. And the other thing you'll need definitely for hardline tubing is a good heat gun. This one I got from Amazon, but I liked it because it has a pre-built stand, as you can see here. Once the cords unravel, obviously it'll stay a little more stable, but once I get in place, I don't have to worry about that. If you get one that's doesn't have a built-in stand, because the vents are on the side, okay, right here, and it looks like right here, there are no vents coming in the back. So if you get a standard one, like say from Harbor Freight or Home Depot and such, make sure it comes with a stand, or it says it's built in, because to stand up, because usually the vents on the back, and if you do this with it, technically it would work because it's flat on the back, but you're not on the stand, that can cause issues, okay? That's a hazard, okay? So please don't do that. Make sure you use the stand if it comes with one. Read the instructions, everybody. I'll be going through the instructions on the Mayhem with you all. I'll be going through the GPU water block and the CPU water block instructions from EK, just going through real quickly to see exactly what they warn you about and such. But that is the key thing. Read the manual, even if it's a brisk read, just to get a concept of what's going on. Okay, you just never know, there could be something in there that you miss. The other tool you'll need, or similar to this is from EK, is their ream tool, and that's to, once you do the cut, you know, even though you do a clean cut and everything, you still need to get, you know, the little bits off. And this part right here, you do on this does the inside, and then this does the outside, and it will do a nice little ring and make it nice and clean. So there's nothing that could catch the gaskets and such when you're installing it with the fittings and connecting it to your PC parts. The other thing is not a must-have, but I bought this. This is like $8 with EK. This is their fill tube. You honestly just put the pre-mix coolant in there, or like for when I do the leak test, it will be the distilled water. And this has a nice nozzle where you can fit it in there. I mean, I've never used one of these. It used to be just a tube with a funnel, you know. They didn't have, or I didn't know about these back then when I first started water cooling about 10 years ago. Also, as always, try to get 90% it up. That's what I try to do. I got this from Walmart, but Walgreens sells it off. This is, for isopropyl alcohol, you know, to clean any thermal paste from your system. You know, just do a wipe down. It dissipates really fast. Just cleans. I'm gonna wipe, you know, my CPU, the new CPU block of it, you know, because it has stickers on it and, you know, sticky covers over the blocks. And I just want to clean off that any residue that happens. Okay. While using the heat gun, you also need to have some gloves. These are just simple auto ones. I got like a 50 pack for like, you know, $10, $15. I'll be using these. You know, you're not going to be right over the heat with when you're you know, heating up your tubing to do the bends, but you know, it's good to have because these things can get very hot. So just better safe than sorry. I don't usually use gloves, but for this I will, particularly since it has heat to do with it. Let's see. The other thing is the bending tubes. I bought, like I said in the first video, the intro, I bought 2 different bending tubes, or tube benders technically. One from Barrow, this big one right here, and then these from Primo Chill. These are just plastic ones. These are meant for the 14 outer diameter tubing that I bought, which that's what you got to make sure of. Order the right ones that go with your tubing. Just like the fittings, you got to make sure if you pick a certain tube, make sure you get the right fittings that fit it. Okay, but this is for my size, and this is the 90, 45, and 180, and it has 2 screw holes in each one. I'll put it on a 2x6 because I have some extra, just like that, to, you know, hold them in place so I can bend if I decide to use it. The other one is this Barrow turbine bender. I got the aluminum one just because I wanted that. But this is so you can, you know, put the tubes in. It has a nice little setup here. This will hold it in place, you know, bend. It can do 45s, it can do 180s. But the big key thing is excuse me, is that right now these are very, I guess, slick. I'm going to use some double-sided, or not double-sided, but insulation tape, so it gives it some grip, but I can hold down my tubing, and if I need to go up or, you know, go, I guess, vertical, it will hold it in place, and I can do a bend right there, things like that. But this is pretty cool. I'll see how much I like that. You'll see in the videos when I do the bending episodes of this. But hoping it works out nicely. But I've watched a few videos I could find on it. Premature originally made this, but they don't sell it anymore for some reason. And maybe they didn't sell enough, I don't know, but Barrow still sells it. And like I said, to say thank you to Amazon, TitanRig.com, EKWB.com, and PerformancePCs.com for having the parts in and quickly getting them to me, so I can get these videos going for y'all and get my rig all set up. So let's see. Also, I believe this last. It looks like that. But the bowl is for me to have some water in it, warm water, and maybe I put some soap in it. But it's so you can make this a little slippery to fit into the tubing properly and easily, so you're not fighting it and everything. But also, if you're using PETG, you can use it to cool after you do the bend, instead of having to hold it and everything. Maybe have a fan on it or something like with the acrylic, because you can cool the tubing real fast. Now with acrylic, they say you don't have to, you can, but they said the temperature change, cooling it too fast, could make it crack also. Now remember, we'll go over that in a video, the differences between glass tubing, PETG, and acrylic. But the key thing is that acrylic is very pretty, but it's brittle. It requires a saw instead of the pipe cutter, you know, things like that, just a general thing. But I'll go over a quick video on the differences between them from my research and from just seeing it from other rigs I've seen over the years. But that is, at this point, pretty much it for the tools that I'll be using. And if I forgot anything or you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments. Like and subscribe. Every like and subscribe I get, the more the better, because that helps me grow the channel, and eventually I can start making a profit and then do some bigger builds. This is all straight out of my pocket, all this stuff, so it is what it is. But I want to thank you for your time, and